little tattletales, listen, I just wanted to give you a little update on what's going on with the Blac Chyna trial and how the Kardashians' attorney tried it. First of all, let's put some misconceptions out here because I was in the comments. Y'all know I read the comments. Y'all know I blocked a lot of y'all because y'all were mad, disrespectful. But let's get into one thing that people don't seem to understand. Everybody keeps bringing up Chyna pointing something at Rob, right? That heater, that shooter, pointing it at Rob. In trial, under penalty of perjury, Chyna testified that it was never pointed at his head. She pointed down. It was never pointed at his, it was pointed down. It was unloaded. He knew it. Chyna knew it. Everybody knew it. Now, why is this important? I'll tell you. Because the security footage that can corroborate what Chyna was saying, Kylie mysteriously lost. Kylie mysteriously lost. Now, for anybody that actually has good home security, like I'm sure Kylie does, the least they keep your tapes are for 3 months. The most could be up to a year. And they keep it on a cloud storage because you never know. You might find out somebody stole your priceless antique 4 months after it was gone. You keep security footage. It's really, really odd that Kylie didn't have it. But number 2, y'all, everybody keeps saying, and I just want to address this. Well, oh my God, you really think you're going to fight my brother and do this and do that and still have a job? Let me tell you something. Yes. And second of all, do you guys understand that what you think should happen is actually mad illegal? Let me break this down. This is the timeline as I understand it. Chyna found out that the Kardashian used, in her opinion, underhanded ways to get her fired, right? Chyna sued the Kardashians for that. Rob also released revenge stuff. Chyna sued Rob for that. In between that, Rob concocted a story after the sister, in my opinion, after the sisters said that, after the sisters approached executives asking for her to be fired. Rob, according to this testimony we're about to get in, was pretending to Chyna that they were still together, and all the family was pretending that not only were they still together, but they were still cool. Chyna knows that to be a lie. But even all that aside, do you realize, let's talk about contract law, because a lot of you guys don't understand it. Rob and Chyna get greenlit for season 2. They both sign contracts to work for E. Rob decides, for whatever reason, he is not going to work at E. What Rob is now doing is he is in breach of contract. Now, if he has a good reason for breaching that contract, E will not be able to sue them. However, for Chyna, right? For Chyna, who got the contract, who agreed to the contract, and showed up ready and willing to work, Chyna is not in breach of contract. Under contract law, if the other person breaches contract, you do not suffer. You either have to get paid out or the show goes on. This is in the contract. This is contract law 101. All this mess about what Rob's talking about, oh, she did this, she did that to me, that really doesn't matter for 2 reasons. 1, Rob, you had a case and you dropped it. You dropped it. And on top of that, you're paying her attorney's fees. Chyna had evidence that you lied. It was compelling evidence. For one, a couple of days later, you made a statement of Child Social Services that Chyna's never put her hands on you, never touched her. We have video where you don't show any bruises, okay? All you people talking about, she's a domestic abuser. Shut up and stop projecting, because that's not what happened here. Keep your mess in your own house. Now let's get back to contract law. There's a show. How you gonna have a show if the other person doesn't want to come? I don't know. That's not Chyna's problem. That's E's problem. Chyna was still supposed to get her full contract. Now, they have the option of not renewing for a 3rd season, but they would still have to pay her out of the 2nd season, which she agreed to, and she showed up ready to work. If they want to, they can recoup their costs through Rob, or they can let it go. Now, let's just say everything Rob's saying is true. I have my doubts because I see the way the evidence mounted up, right? We're getting into Blac Chyna's testimony in a second, but let me just walk y'all through because there's a lot of disinformation out there, and you guys are focusing on red herrings and interference with contract, right? I'm a contract law. All that other stuff y'all talking about don't got anything to do with it. Now, let's just say everything Rob said is true and it happened. You know that we live in the United States, or at least Chyna and Rob do. You know that there are rules and procedures on how to fire someone. They did not take it to HR. They did not follow rules. They did not follow procedures. They did it underhandedly. That's the issue. It was a wrongful firing, a wrongful termination, and contract interference. This is what Chyna's maintaining. I've looked at a little bit of the evidence. From what I see, this is what I see. Make your own minds up. But for God's sakes, for the love of God, do some research and realize we are talking about contract law, interference with contracts, and wrongful firing. Chyna has the receipts. It's an open and shut case. Now, why does a lawyer keep bringing it up? Because if the lawyers can hate Blac Chyna, then when it comes to time to give out damages, they'll give her less. He's trying to smear her name. And honestly, I think it's sad that a lot of you guys don't realize what's going on, and people are falling for these red herrings. Again, if Rob felt so offended by the domestic abuse, why he drop it? Because Chyna had info out the days and she was ready for war. And don't forget that Rob said, if you drop this case that he bought up after she went after his sisters, then they could just call it evil. Man, shut up. For y'all, pick a lane. Are the Kardashians this powerful empire that don't let anyone never go against family? Or are these people that's just I don't know what to do, what's going on, we're so helpless? Look at the Kardashians operate with anyone that comes after them. And you really mean to tell me that if they had something with Blac Chyna, they would have let her go and given her peace? Y'all live in dream world. Anyway, let's get into her testimony, all right? Here's the page set's testimony. I'm not suing the Kardashian Jenners for clout. A defiant Blac Chyna. Really? Now she's defiant. All right. Is not suing the Kardashians for clout and maintains she and Rob were still together when the decision, unbeknownst to her, was made to cancel the reality TV show. Again, a lot of y'all in the comments talking about they wasn't together. Yes, they were. They were still engaged. Rob was still her fiance. It was all part of an underhanded, sneaky game. Rob is, in my opinion, vindictive and petty, and his sisters were waiting to push Blac Chyna out. Now, I don't care whether you think she deserved there to be there or not. She was there, and the sisters couldn't wait to push her out. And as soon as Rob was done with her, he wanted to get her out of there too, just to be spiteful. This goes on to say, after a full day testifying in Los Angeles court Wednesday, Chyna faced a confrontational Michael Rhodes, that's the Kardashians' attorney, that veteran attorney representing Kim and Khloe and Kris and Kylie Jenner, him and 6 other people, it looks like, right? Who grilled the former model about her reasons for filing the multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Now, this is what I think got a real nerve. You screwed me over, and now you're asking me why I sued a lawsuit against you screwing me over again. They're trying to win public opinion, and they're trying to make sure the jury gets Chyna the least. Get this. When Michael asked Chyna if she sued the family for a publicity stunt, the model quickly responded, no, not at all. They messed up her bag. They cost her $1 million. Seriously. And if Rob feels so much that he was an abused person, march your hop, skip, jump, put the goddamn little Debbie pie down and that codeine cup, allegedly, the codeine boys, and hop, skip, and butt, jump into court and sue her so you can get paid like you weighed. Anyway, let's go on, right? Michael said, you can benefit from this. Yes, I can benefit from $1 million, and I can also benefit from the publicity. And water is what? Continue, counselor. It's your question, right? And Chyna said, no, not at all. That's why I want a fair trial. This is not why I'm doing this right now. But even if she was, what is it with people that don't believe that Blac Chyna deserves to defend herself, deserves to be able to use public opinion, deserves to do everything that the Kardashians have made an empire doing? Why don't y'all think she's worthy? Honestly. Because what? She used to be a sex worker, might still be, who knows, with the OnlyFans if you consider them, and so did everybody else. Move on. Now, here's where things come to a little head. And I think Chyna I hope she has evidence to prove this, right? Yes. During his opening statement on Tuesday, Michael said the network executives with E! and NBC Universal decided to pull the plug on the show because the relationship between Rob and Chyna became toxic and they had already separated. Funny how all the evidence we see are Kylie, Kris, Khloe, and Kim saying it's toxic. Where's the emails and messages from Rob saying it's toxic? My sources are telling me that Chyna actually has text messages and communications proving that her and Rob were still engaged when all this was going on. During the testimony, it was 6 hours. Chyna admitted that her connection with the family was complicated. Her ex Tyga started dating Kylie Jenner in 2014. I think the day she turned 18, they went public. And 2 years later, she would be engaged to Rob Kardashian. Chyna literally said there was a lot of cheating on Tyga's part. which caused the breakup. Chyna said the relationship stopped when Kylie started dating Tyga, my fiance at the time. During cross-examination, Michael said, "Do you have a grudge against Kylie Jenner?" Chyna said, "I know it will against none of these ladies." That's right, mama. You better say it, right? Now get this. During the trial, right? And this goes into why don't Chyna deserve what everybody freely gives the Kardashians, right? During the trial, Michael asked Chyna if she tried to file an application to trademark the name Kardashian. Chyna said Rob told her to go ahead because they were going to get married anyway. Now, it wasn't just a Kardashian name. She tried to literally trademark I think it was Angela Kardashian or something like that. She tried to trademark her married name. Chyna is a businesswoman. This is what businesswomen do. The same way Kim, Khloe, Kylie, and all of them had their names trademarked. Why is it so like, ooh, you opportunistic? Because Chyna did the same thing. Again, make it make sense. Let me know in the comments, but be respectful because I'm sick of y'all. Interestingly enough, Chyna said that even though her lawyer suggested filing it, she never filed the trademark. The Kardashians rushed to trademark so she couldn't use the name. That's a name. Anyway, she also testified that she was just joking and pointing at something at Rob's head during cross-examination. She said the barrel was pointed upward and she never had her finger on the trigger. She said, and Michael said, under oath, you're denying pointing the gun? And she said, because I didn't point the gun at him. Get this. Then he said, but you placed a cord around his neck. Chyna said, yes. He said the cord was touching his skin. She said, yeah, but it was a joke. I have more of a sense of humor. Listen, again, the way Michael is trying to turn this into what happened with Rob and Chyna, where the evidence clearly shows that you guys didn't file a police report, you didn't do anything. You tried to get her fired, you walked away, and then when she literally decided to speak up, y'all came back and decided to finish her. Only thing is, she ain't go down. To the most shocking accusation, and I think Chyna has evidence to back this up, but we'll see. Chyna says that the relationship did not end in 2016. She said that her and Rob were still engaged. Chyna's the one that left out of Kylie's house. But when she left, they were 100% engaged. And I think that's when Rob lost his mind and released all that stuff on Instagram, Twitter, and acted a damn fool. The fact that y'all literally defending that piece of sock-hawking little Debbie Pie aficionado is beyond me. But you know what? Y'all let me know a little bit more about the way you view the situation and why you view the situation and what y'all think. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later.